Welcome to Wed and Wild. This is the podcast where we talk about the wild, wonderful, and downright ridiculous parts of marriage and family life. We are the Smiths, a married couple who's trying to survive, love, kids, and each other. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to talk about maintaining individuality within the marriage and supporting each other's dreams and ambitions. So we're going to talk about, can you be too independent in marriage first? So I have a question for you.
Go for it.
If I took a solo vacation for a week, would you be okay with that?
Yes, but I'd have some questions.
Such as?
Where are you going?
Okay.
How long?
A week.
Where are you going? How long? What days? Who with?
It's a solo vacation.
Oh, if it's a solo, okay. What are you going to be doing there?
Vacationing
And why?
for a vacation.
And why don't you want to take me? That would be my last question.
Well,
Why can't I go with you?
Well, let's have this discussion because I think I've said I wanted to take a solo vacation to go see some friends before, and you told me what?
I said no, because you said, you're like, I want to go to Thailand. And I was like, absolutely.
Why?
Because there are places where I would also like to go. So if it's a place that I want to go, I want to be able to go with you.
Who's saying you wouldn't be able to go any other time?
I mean, but I want to be able to go first.
I also invited you. I was like, okay, cool. Go. Come with me.
Yeah, and then I was like, not right now.
Yes.
I think we were also in a different financial situation then. So like, I'll also preface that. But yes, that was my answer, was like, absolutely not.
Yeah. Then you're like, I want to go. And I was like, all right, come. And you're like, yeah, no. So it didn't even matter. All right. So what solo vacation would I be able to take? If I was like, hey, I want to go visit friends in Florida by myself.
I'd say, okay, just like tell me the dates and the times and when you're going and what you're doing, and make sure you communicate.
I'm going to hold you to that. This is being recorded.
Okay. Same for me. Okay.
All right.
Hold me accountable too. I think there's like several things that have to happen in just a marriage in general when you go, and maybe not even a marriage, when you're in a relationship, is where are you going? For how long? What do you plan on doing there? And who are you going with?
Well, I mean, I don't know what I plan on doing anywhere when I go somewhere.
I know you're a little bit different than I am. You're like, you're a winger, and I'm like type A, plan everything out.
Yeah, I don't
right?
do that.
I also probably would never go on a solo vacation. That is not who I am. I could not do that. I could go and visit people that I know, but I could never do a solo vacation.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, I'm not going to go to a completely different country by myself or anything, but
yeah,
like to visit friends.
Yeah, I definitely think that there is a benefit, and you should be independent in your relationship. But I also think that there's like a balance to that, because I feel like sometimes too much independence could cause you to feel disconnected as a couple.
Should marriage mean that you're losing some independence?
Yes, I think so. If you choose to get married, or if you choose to be in a relationship, some of that means you're losing a little bit of independence.
So what I believe is that marriage is made up of two whole people that are both independent, not two halves or complementing each other.
Yeah, but a part of that independence means that you have to be willing to compromise with your spouse. Like, so for example, and this might not be a great example, but I feel like you and I was a big traveler. Like, I traveled a lot.
We still are.
I know, but here's the thing. Like, I have always been a very big traveler, and that's grown up since I was, my parents made me travel a lot, right? That's always been a big part of my life. And when I got married to you and we were in a relationship, that became a part of our lives, is that we take a lot of trips and we travel together. There's also aspects of me continuing, or you continuing to travel on your own in your own capacity, and me in my own capacity. But I feel like there's a part of your independence. Like, I'm not going to be going on all these solo trips 5 times a year like I used to when you become married. You either invite your spouse to come in and join those trips with you, or maybe you don't take as many trips by yourself.
But why? If that's a part of who you are, why would you change that?
I think it just depends on the situation. Like, for us, it was some part of it was that financial part. Some of it was,
well, I mean, now it's kids.
Yeah, kids enter your relationship, things like that. But I do think that a part of not your independence is gone, but your independence changes. and maybe you do some things that are more mutual.
Okay. I mean, if that's what you're gonna go with,
Right?
I mean, I'm not gonna like agree or disagree. I'm just,
Okay, well, let me ask you this question. Do you feel like couples should share everything or have their own passion?
oh, for sure, have their own. Don't not sharing everything.
I would agree with that.
I mean,
That would annoy the heck out of me. Like, if I had to do everything with you, like, I love
now,
you and all, but please leave me alone.
now I'm not saying couples shouldn't share anything.
Yeah.
Like you should have a mutual hobby that keeps you close or brings you closer together. But I'm not going to invite you to my hobbies. I feel like
Dungeons and Dragons. Please, as much you have asked me, and I'm like, absolutely fucking not.
But I feel like everyone needs their own thing, but they also need their thing together.
I also think, though, that there's the amount of things that you share together and the amount of things that you don't do together could go in waves. Like, for example, you and I both enjoy football, you more so than me. But I feel like at times in our relationships, there was times where I didn't watch as much football with you. And then there's times now that I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm watching everything with you, you know?
You only watch it for one. You watch it because of Taylor Swift. You don't watch it with me but now, because of that.
For a winning team. So like, I'm like, I'm in it to win it now.
You never watched football like that until Taylor Swift.
And now that I changed teams, I also really like it. But there's an ebb and a flow to it, right?
I guess.
Okay, what about
that's nothing to do with hobbies with me. That was an independent decision that you made to watch football.
Okay, what about this? Is it okay to have separate friend groups?
Yes.
Why? I agree with you, but I just want
because I mean my friend group is going, not gonna say they're always gonna agree with me or anything, but they'll understand more. Like I couldn't hang out with your friend group and act the way I act. Right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think couples should have their own friend group. And I think it's okay then have groups that are friends together, but I definitely think you should have your own people that you talk to.
Yeah, but you said you want me to make friends for you.
Well, yeah, because I'm not great at making friends.
I'm not great at making friends. I just have the people that I have, and that's it.
A lot of my friends are my family. Like, I wish I could be closer to my family and hang out with them, you know?
I couldn't tell you, like, the last friend that I made.
That should be a whole nother episode. Is like, how do we make friendships as adults? Because I feel like that is the most challenging.
As a married
couple.
Parent.
Yeah, married parent couple. But you know what? I think now that the girls are going into kindergarten, we might be forced to make some.
Well, I mean, I'm not as, I guess, friendly.
Yeah, you're social.
Yeah. I'm not as social as you are.
And I still don't think I'm that social, you know?
Yeah, you're more social than me, though.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Okay, what happens when one person is growing in their dreams and aspirations and the other one feels stuck?
What do you mean?
Like maybe in a personal goal or career goal and your partner is feeling stuck.
I mean, if you're asking me how I would feel, like if we're going to use an example of like you're growing career-wise, I'm not. Doesn't bother me. I don't care. I don't understand. Like, doesn't.
I feel like those for some people it doesn't bother us. I
just feel like that's a more personal
question
thing for someone. You know, it just depends on how they are with it. I don't care.
I think it gives some good insight into people, like where there's opportunities for growth within your own relationship, though, because we'll use us as an example here. In my last 5 years, I've grown a ton in my career, and you've always been supportive and continue to ask me, like, what's my next step? And blah, 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 blah. And you've also grown, not as fast, but you have grown. And I feel like we do a good job of supporting each other and saying, like, do what you want. Let's go. Like, let's do the next step or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I've supported you the whole way.
Yeah.
I mean, you've had your goals, and I'm like, all right, let's do it. Yeah. Your goals were my goals without me even working.
And then even now, you still push me to be like, okay, so what's next? And I'm like, nothing. I'm done. And you're like, what do you mean?
I was like, don't stop.
Yeah. Okay, now here's the real question I have for you. How much space is healthy?
So I don't know. I go back and forth on this a lot. Sometimes I'm cool if I get a day to myself. Sometimes I'm like yesterday, I was with you the whole day. You're like, I'm going grocery shopping. Cool, me too.
And I was like,
coming with
no, I don't want to go with you.
And guess what? We're all coming, all the kids.
You did do that. I
Yeah.
was like,
It's like, cool.
I need to go to Costco. And you're like, yeah, let's all take
Yeah,
everybody.
let's go.
Like, no, I don't want to. And then I snapped at them at the Costco. I was like, if y'all, what did I say? Oh, I don't even know.
I turned her independent shopping into a family outing. Like, we're going. So, like, I mean, for me, it depends. What mood am I in? You know, a lot of factors go into it. Or there's just times where I'm up doing my own thing, and I'm just like, let me just go bother her. Let me
You don't
mess with her.
I don't know if this is true, but I feel like just based off of how you act, I feel like you don't like a lot of space. Like, even if you go upstairs to like play your computer game, you'll always be like, are you gonna come upstairs with me? Are you gonna watch TV? Like, you know, you like.
Well, that just lets me know, am I going to be able to listen to what I want to, or are you doing it?
But there are, like, I think like 9 times out of 10, that's always your question, right? You go upstairs and you're like, I'm going upstairs. You want to come upstairs and watch TV? Or like, but there are some days, few and far in between, where you'll just be like, I'm going upstairs, and you don't say anything else. And I'm like, all right, I'm staying down here. So like, that's my cue that maybe you need a little space.
No. I mean, how will I explain it when I need space? I'll let you know. I feel like I'll communicate like, yo, I need to do something. Like, I need to get out of here. Because normally, even if I go upstairs, if I'm not asking you, I'll tell the girls. I'll be like, come upstairs.
Yeah.
So it's not.
I think one thing that is unique in our situation is that we have a lot of space throughout the week.
My thing is, when I need space, I feel like I will say it.
You also get a full day typically, or not full day, but you get several hours where you're home by yourself. Like, you do get space by yourself.
So here's the thing,
right?
That's why normally when I come home from work, that's when I take my space. That's when I'm.
Oh yeah, by yourself. The house is quiet.
Yeah, I'm most available by myself because I'm getting home. But then within 30 minutes, here you go calling me like, hey,
I'm in a bed.
Yeah, and there's been times I come downstairs and I tell you while you're in bed, I'm like, yo, this is like the only time I get to relax. So like, that's what I'm using it for.
It's not the only time you get to relax, but it is one of the times you get to relax, because you also get the house free on Mondays if we are at school.
Good.
Unless you're asleep.
Yeah.
Unless you're asleep. But if you're awake, you're by yourself, you know?
Yeah, but I'm just like, all right, this is my time to get like an hour or two complete silence just by myself.
See, and here's my thing is sometimes I need space and I don't. And I'll use it yesterday. I was just trying to do a 15-minute Peloton ride. I had Roman in here on his computer, FaceTiming somebody.
Well, that's because you.
And then I had girls coming in crying, telling me something. And I'm like, I'm just trying to get a 15-minute Peloton ride in here.
Well, that's because you wanted to move it inside from where it was, which
in the
was
garage.
Yeah,
it was way too hot in there.
Isolated.
Yeah.
So that's on you.
No, you know what I need to do? I need to put a lock on our office doors so I can lock the doors and no one can open them.
You could do that too.
That's what I really need to do.
So what do you think on how much space is healthy?
I definitely think that.
I guess, wait, hold on. I don't think I answered that question.
I don't,
because you said how much
time frame, but I do think that there's space is needed in your marriage in order to maintain balance.
Yeah.
I would get so annoyed if I had to hang out with you 24/7 and there was no space. I would never be able to work with you. I just go to work, come home, and there's couples that are able to do that, and that just can't
just get locked in a routine.
Yeah, carpool to work together, go to work together, work at the same place, come home, and do all the things. There's no way.
I don't think that would bother me.
I could see that.
Yeah, I don't think it would bother me.
It would bother me.
But I'm just. How much space is healthy? I don't know how to answer that. It would just depends on the person.
I think it definitely depends too on the time of life that you're in. Right now we have a lot of space away from each other there during the week.
Yeah.
Even though I don't have any space to.
Is it healthy space? That's what you're asking.
Yeah, I think sometimes. I think there's definitely times where I'm like, Jesus, I wish he was here. Or oh, no, this is great, But I think it depends on the day and how you're feeling. So I feel like that's also probably part of it.
I feel like that's the best way to answer that. Is however you're feeling for the day determines if it's going to be healthy or not.
Yeah, for sure. And I do think that based off of that allows you to, I don't know, if you have a lot of space, you probably do a lot of more things by yourself and navigate having some independence more if you have a lot more space.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, and sometimes when you become married, then you start to do things more with your husband, or you forget about things that you used to like to do.
Well, that would be a bad thing.
Yeah, I know. We don't want to do that. But I feel like sometimes that happens.
Yeah, that would be a sign that you might be losing yourself in your marriage if you just stop doing things that you once loved because your spouse isn't into it. Like, I don't think
Like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. I've stopped that.
You have, because it used to it bothers me.
Yeah, I know.
I go in ebbs and flows with it.
And that was actually some of my healthy space.
Yeah, there was like times where I was okay with it, and there was times where I was like absolutely annoyed with, because you have to do it at a certain time, and it's like, I'm like, if I want to do something, I don't want to have to be forced to be home by 7 p.m.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's not you understanding my space, what I need.
That is true. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
That is definitely something you've had to give up.
Like tonight, I would have to do it. Last week, I missed it. I haven't done it in, I can tell you when the last.
I can't either. That was a big one. Dungeons and Dragons was a big one. I would admit to that. I'm trying to think about if there's anything that I used to love that I have stopped doing. I will say I still do it, just not in as much as I want. I love working out. I just don't do it as often as I need to, and I don't think it's your fault. I just think it's,
you can work out because normally
the flow of our life right now. But
so I don't think there's been a time where you're like, I want to do this for me, and I've been like, no. I've always just been like, all right. Or you would tell me, hey, I'm going to go get my nails done. All right. Like,
all right, but can
you're like,
stop on the way home and get me
yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and you just say, hey, you're with the kids. I'm going to go get my hair done. Cool.
Yeah.
Or I'm going shopping. All right.
Yeah.
But me, it's more like, hey, I got this at 6:30 every week, the same time every day. And you're like, no, you can't do that.
No,
so it makes me.
It's not that I would say no. I just become passive aggressive about it and be like annoyed.
Yeah. See, so now that makes me feel guilty for taking me time.
Yeah. I will say though, that's like, I think my one push to you would be that it's not like I've said don't ever play video games, because that's something you still like to do and play, or computer games or whatever. It's just like that particular thing where we have to be there at a given time. I'm like, this is annoying.
Yeah, it's like an appointment. You know about it way beforehand, whereas your nails or something, you might wake up and be like, I think I'm going to go get my nails done today.
But you know what? I started making appointments, so.
Yeah, you started to, but but I still don't say, this is annoying. I don't want you to do that.
Yeah.
But like, that's the same. You getting your nails done is still like, I would say that's me time, like for you.
Yeah,
but
I would agree. I enjoy doing that.
Plus you're getting away. You're not around anybody. You're just doing your own thing or going shopping or, or like, I'm
going to go to Target or whatever. Yeah, I will say that. And
so like my me time, I don't have a lot of things that I do for my me time.
No, you like to play your games for your me time.
Yeah, but I feel like you get mad at the times.
There used to be a time where I would get mad a lot. I don't think I get as mad often now.
Yeah, see, so now
I definitely feel like there was a time where I was like really annoyed by it.
Yeah, so now I find myself hanging out with you a lot more because I'm trading it in for things that I would do in that time.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I feel like that's where
like yesterday and today and every weekend pretty much now. I feel like I'm hanging out with you. I'm not saying this is bad.
You. Yeah. Well, when you say you, but not just me, like our family. We're doing a lot of family things, which is great.
In no way am I saying this is bad. I'm not saying I'd rather be doing my own thing than hanging out with my family. But
all fairness too, we've never had, this has been the first time, this has been the first time ever that you and I have had weekends off together with our kids. It's always been,
well, now it's almost been a year.
Yeah, like this has been the first time.
I don't know if you've ever noticed or acknowledged that over the course of this year, I stopped doing things that I would do for me and started hanging out with you guys a lot more. Again, not saying it's bad that I'm hanging out with the family, just saying that I'm losing my me time and I'm replacing it at the end of the night when I come home
makes sense.
But then you're interrupting that by saying, when I get home, like, hey, come to bed now. So now my me time when I get home is being cut away.
Well,
and I'm having no me time.
Let's revisit that topic when we talk about listener topics, because there's a conversation in there that I think is gonna have to talk. We'll talk about that. One of the other signs about losing yourself in marriage is one, feeling guilty for taking me time. Do you ever feel guilty?
Oh, yeah, I just said that. You made me feel guilty that I had
but not
something to do with
not like somebody else making you feel guilty. Do you ever feel like I feel mom guilt all the time?
So do I feel guilty for taking me time?
Yeah.
Had I?
Yes. I feel like this probably isn't a dad thing, but moms definitely feel this.
I guess it would depend on the situation. But I mean, normally if I felt guilty, I would still come down. Like if the girls are acting a fool and I can clearly hear them going wild, you notice I've come down just to be like.
But does that make you feel guilty?
Not at all. I don't think I felt guilty.
I think it's not.
It's just that you made me feel guilty.
Yeah, you don't feel guilty.
I
definitely have felt guilty for being like, oh, I want to I need a break, or I want to go do this for myself. I have felt guilty.
See, for me, I just chalk that up as being a parent.
I guess so.
That's just how I.
You can feel that way too. You look at it in that manner too.
I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying this is how I feel.
Yeah, I see that perspective. I think that's a something that
you're not going to be 100% right all the time as a parent. You're gonna have guilts and different feelings, but that's just how I take it.
Yeah, I also feel
I don't let it stress me.
I mean, we don't get a lot of quote unquote me time or alone time in general in our lives, so even our me time is like, oh, I'm gonna go to the groceries. I'm gonna go get my nails done.
Personal care is
personal care, and you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna go upstairs, and that's your me time. Like we don't. It's one of the things about not living close to people that you can rely on.
And it's not
you with caring for your kids.
And I don't know, my me time is different though. Like your me time is you have to be alone. You want separation from everything. Basically, you don't want to be around me. You don't want to be around the kids. You just want to.
Yeah, I just want quiet of my own.
Me, I just want to do what I want to do.
Or
I don't care who's with me. You could be with me and all the kids. I don't care. I just want to do what I want to do. That's me time.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. No, that's not mine. It's I want to be by myself.
Yeah.
Or maybe not by myself, but I want to be doing something that I want to do without being stressed out. And usually when it stresses me out, just like yesterday when I lost my mind in Costco and all of them. And I was like, if you guys, one more thing happens, you'll be staring at the wall for the rest of the weekend,
Yeah, see, I don't get stressed out. I'm like, look, as long as I'm doing what I want to do, I don't care if you're with me or not. It's fun for me. That's me time. That's what I got.
Okay, well, one of the other, the last two kind of pitfalls that I want to talk about is around your identity becoming solely based on your husband or your wife, and you relying on your spouse for all the emotional support instead of on others. What are your thoughts on those two?
There's no way that I would have my identity revolve around you.
I would agree.
Yeah. I'm not changing everything that I do and like for you. That would make me miserable. That would make me grow to resent you.
Yeah.
And that's just, it's not healthy.
Yeah,
So if it ever got to a point where I told you no, I feel like, no, you're not going, I feel like it's gone too far.
What do you mean, no, I'm not going? Like, no, I'm not going somewhere?
Yeah. No, you're not getting me time because I don't get me time. I feel like that's gone.
Or not allowing me to do something I want to do or whatever it makes me. Yeah. I would agree with that. I don't think I could be able to function in that manner either.
But then the relying on the spouse for emotional support, that's kind of tough to speak on, because in a marriage, you're supposed to marry your best friend, right? So your spouse should be the one, to me, that you lean on the most. Is that true for us? No, I don't think it is. I don't think I lean on you at all for emotional support, and I don't feel like you do for me.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, so maybe that's something to improve on, but I see it, how it could be bad, I guess. Because you're not maintaining other friendships, though. 'Cause I think what you're asking is, who do you rely on more, your spouse or your friends for emotional support? No.
I
Are your
rely
friends
on anybody. I'm just like,
well,
I feel
'cause
like you and I are probably in a similar boat where we
it
don't rely on anybody. We just,
well, I just work it out.
yeah, internalize and you work it out, and I just internalize, and keep it all in.
I just feel like depending on your friends, like, your friends typically are going to tell you what you want to hear. So I don't feel like that could be healthy too.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like, friends,
Same with your family. Your family could
yeah, they're
also
gonna tell
people
you,
that just are like yes people. You
yeah,
know,
they're
you don't
gonna
want
tell
to.
you what you wanna hear. You're gonna be right in any situation. I like friends who challenge me, who's like, "No, bro, you messed up." And it's like, "Oh," like, don't need to be right in every situation because then that's just gonna be toxic.
Yeah,
It's like, "Well, my friend told me I was right and you were wrong." And it's like, "Okay, so you're going to your friends to talk about all this now?" So, I don't know. To me, I feel like your spouse should be your emotional support person, even if it is about them. Like, regardless of the topic, you should be able to talk about it. That's my
I would agree with that. I also feel like, at least for us, I feel like we're emotional support people for things that are happening in our lives, like outside of our own relationship. And then I feel like with our own relationship, we navigate that a little differently. Does that make sense?
wait,
Like
what was it?
I feel like we are somewhat of emotional support for each other with things that are happening outside of our personal
Yeah.
relationship.
Oh, yeah. For us personally,
Yeah,
we can handle each other's situations not involving us.
very well.
Yeah, very well.
But
But once it comes to us in any kind of manner, it's like, yeah, man, I don't.
yeah,
I don't know.
we're figuring it out. We got to. It's an area of growth for us.
Could I tell someone else how to do it? Yeah.
I would agree.
Do I do it myself? No.
I feel like there's probably a lot of couples that are in that same boat, you know? But anyways, so let's talk about just what we do, how we can continue to like grow and improve in this area of independence. And so there's a couple of things that I think are areas that we could support that you can do to support each other. The first is to encourage and not restrict what your partner can do. Let them explore new things without feeling guilty or threatened.
Yeah.
One of the new things I want to try,
With me or without me?
I'd actually want to try it with you because I feel like I'd be intimidated to do it without you. We'd have to figure out how the hell we make this work. I really want to try to play on an adult softball league.
I feel like the only thing that we'd have to work on is the time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. How we make it work.
how, when did we have time for this?
But that is something that I feel like I would want to try to do. But you know what? Maybe what we could do is just get some bats and balls and play with our kids. And that is why I'm wanting to do that. And I was like, oh, that sounds like fun. The other thing is to have shared and separate activities. So there's some things that are our things, and then there's some things that should be your own things.
Yeah. I mean, we do that. I mean, you definitely do it more than me.
Yeah.
You have a lot more of your things than I have my things, but then we have our things too. So
I think the interesting thing, and you said this before, is that we have a lot of things that we do in our home that are separate things.
mm-hmm.
Like you play games, I Peloton,
You watch TV.
I watch TV. Yep.
You scroll TikTok.
Yeah.
Just like the other day, what was it? I was texting you and you're like, I'm scrolling TikTok. You're interrupting my time. And I'm like, Jesus.
It's a way I
I
decompress.
can't even talk to you because TikTok has priority over your husband.
Remember that time that TikTok got canceled for
Mm.
less than 20
Yeah, and you had to spend time with
Yeah,
me.
I had breakfast cooked. It was a miracle.
Yeah.
I wasn't just couch
Look at
running.
what else I can do with my time.
Okay. And then it's to check in on each other's dreams. So don't let your personal goals die just because your life gets busy.
Dang, this is kind of like how I did you the other day.
Yeah, no, like I absolutely.
You're like, I don't want to talk about
that
this.
right now.
I was like, I'm just checking. Like, what's your goals? Like, let's talk about what you want to do with your thing.
There was another motive behind that, but we'll not talk about that right now.
Yeah, it was just things that I'm still trying to learn or help you grow or any of that stuff.
Push each other, support one another.
Yeah, I think I definitely support you.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've done a good job of supporting each other's career dreams. Not necessarily personal, because I feel like what are our personal dreams, but maybe.
I don't know. I don't know if I have any personal goals
Anyway.
at this point in my life right now.
I should 5.
I should have personal. Maybe I'll think about that today.
Maybe that could be our next one. Let's talk about personal goals. Like, what kind of
Let's talk about
personal
personal
goals do we have? I don't even know what a personal goal would be. But and then the last one is around prioritizing date nights and connection. So making sure that, like, although independence is great, that you also are nurturing your relationship and prioritizing each other.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good one.
I would agree.
Like, independence it's fun. Like, it's good to do your own thing without anyone there over you or watching you, but at the same time, you still have a relationship that you need to grow and partner that you need to keep involved
And bother.
and bother.
Just
to harass.
Yeah, just like you did yesterday when I tried to take my personal time and you're like, nah, we all coming with you. And I was okay, we're going to talk about, we've asked our listeners how they balance independence while prioritizing their marriage. And so here are some of the things they said, and we're going to talk about whether we agree or disagree with them.
All right, the first one that came in was every Friday night. My husband and I have separate date nights. This is in quotes. He goes out with his friends and I go out with mine. We catch up the next day and actually miss each other.
First of all, I have a question. It says they catch up the next day. Are they out all night?
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
Well, if they're
Separate
all night, I have some questions.
separate date nights with their friend groups,
If
basically.
you come home at night, we would have some
So if I went out with the boys
and didn't come home
and I was like, we're going bar hopping,
and never came home and we caught up the next day, the catch up would not be a catch up.
and I came home at like 2 a.m, obviously you'll be asleep. So I mean, you would have to catch up in that.
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
more sense. That makes more sense. I think that's totally acceptable.
Like, we're going bar hopping. I mean, I'm not coming home if I'm leaving at 10 o'clock at night. I'm not coming home at 11 and be like, oh, let me tell you about my 1 hour out. It's like, no, we're gonna go have fun.
Yeah, I feel like that's appropriate. We've definitely done that in our, like, you know, your sisters come in town and I go, I'm going with your sisters somewhere or whatever, and then I come back home.
Yeah, you've definitely done that. Would you let me go out by myself?
Sure.
That's silence. That's silence. I love that this is recorded.
Okay, the next one is, so we agree on that one. The next one is, the next listener said that his wife has a no husband needed hobby. She takes pottery classes and he has no clue what she makes. Meanwhile, he goes fishing alone. It keeps us both sane. I think that's a great idea. I think we have some,
no spouse hobby.
No spouse hobbies.
I mean, I got one. Play games.
Yeah, you game. I don't know if I have a no spouse. Well, it says no husband or needed hobby. So, like, I have hobbies that you don't participate in.
Like, what hobbies?
Shopping. You will sometimes go shopping with me, though, so you'll sometimes participate. But that's like a big hobby of mine. Like, I can go. I want.
Oh, I know. I am aware.
I can spend hours shopping and be totally fine. And that, like, just makes my mood, you know? Like, I can't wait to go visit my mom this weekend. And although I'm going for a very serious reason, I know that I'm going to get to go to, like, Target and Marshalls with her, you know? And that, like, brings me so much joy.
No, I'm aware. That's why you have your own account.
So I think that's a good, that is a great way to maintain some independence.
So the third one is that we take solo trips once a year, no kids, no spouse, just a personal getaway. And people think it's weird, but we swear it makes our marriage stronger. Now, this one, I strongly agree with, and I have fought for with you that we need to take me and you, no children trips, adult-only trips.
Great. I hear you. This person, though, said no kids or no spouse. You have said you and I have to just go on a trip.
Oh, yeah, I ignored the no spouse.
Yeah, you ignored the no spouse.
I read it, but I did not.
You did not internalize what they were saying. I, however, cannot agree with this, but this is a personal thing. I would never be able to take a solo trip somewhere without going to visit people that I know.
I think that still counts. We can say it's to visit, because I'm not going somewhere I'm not going to, like,
Austin, Texas by yourself.
Yeah, I'm not going to go to, like, San Antonio where I don't know anybody. Oh, wait, we know people in San Antonio.
Well, I'll even use this as an example. I've taken some, like, work trips by myself, or somebody else has gone with me. And, like, if they go and do their own thing, I'll go and grab dinner and I sit in my hotel room by myself.
This is outside of work.
Yeah, but I can't do that unless I'm visiting somebody.
Let's say outside of work, would you go to Atlanta for a weekend?
By myself?
by yourself?
Absolutely not. But that's like a personal thing. I could not do a solo trip.
So I could do a solo trip, like you said though. If I was going to go visit friends, yeah, I would absolutely go.
Same here. And I think that's healthy.
I'm not going to go somewhere that I don't know.
Yeah, I would either.
That would feel weird.
I'm not gonna lie though,
It's
like
weird.
even like something like in last summer when all the kids were gone and you were at work and I was just here by myself, like I got bored. I was like, okay, I'm over this. Like people need to come back here, but I feel like it's because our house is always so chaotic. I just didn't know what to do with myself.
But I do feel like you have taken more solo trips, even to go visit family. Yeah, I haven't taken any.
You did. You went to Puerto Rico.
Oh yeah, did go to Puerto Rico. That was
I'm trying to think about the last solo trip. So your last solo trip was
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. When was my last? So outside of work, when was my last solo trip somewhere?
The summer last year,
Where'd I go?
California.
But I
Oh,
took
you
the
took
kids,
kids.
so that doesn't count.
It counts because you had babysitters.
Okay, that does not count. I had to travel with children.
You traveled with the children,
And I still
and you came back with no children.
did. I come back with no.
Yeah, yeah.
No, that wasn't that year.
Oh.
I came back with two of them. The other two flew. The other two flew beforehand. When is the last time I've taken a solo trip? I'm about to take a solo trip. I have not. I can't even remember the last time I've taken a solo trip.
So maybe we should prioritize some solo trips.
But I enjoy traveling with you. So I enjoy doing a one night in Atlanta or whatever. Like I enjoy those things. So I don't necessarily know if you want to take a solo trip, sure, but I can't remember the last time I've taken a solo trip. And honestly, I wouldn't be taking this trip if I didn't have to. So
I mean, and as I said, I've wanted trips, at least one trip a year where there's just no kids, no spouse. I'll go with you, or you can come with me, regardless. But I don't think I've ever wanted like
a solo trip where
Yeah.
you're like, I really want to go to this by
I'm-
myself without you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, did I do it before I met you? Yeah,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
of course. But yeah, I've never been like I want to go because even
Without you.
yeah, because even when I said Thailand, I'm like I want to go to Thailand. You're like, cool, I'll come with you. Like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I don't care. I just want to go. Like,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. I don't necessarily agree with this one in particular, but mostly because we enjoy traveling together
We
and
just like to travel.
yeah,
Don't
it's
personal getaway.
yeah, and it's fun for us, I think.
But the no kids, 100% agree.
I will though tell you how because this is
I feel like every couple needs a no kids trip.
I've
For however long.
done one at least once a year.
We didn't do it last year. We were supposed to. It was supposed to be Mexico.
Oh yeah, and then my parents invited.
And then everyone invited themselves. Not just your parents, your sister.
But we had a portion of a solo trip. We at least got to stay in our own hotel room
But then every day I hung out with
with kids. Yeah,
everyone.
with everybody. It was fine. We had a fun time.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I mean,
Having to take all the kids.
I'll still have fun regardless. But yeah, I feel like we need to prioritize once a year,
Well,
even if it's a weekend.
This year
Doesn't have to be a week.
this year Terry, we're taking a big solo trip, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, this one's a
This one's a big
big
one.
one.
Okay, number 4 of the listener questions is we have separate bathrooms. It sounds small, but it's a game changer. I never have to see his beard trimmings, and he never has to deal with my 100 hair products. These people must be rich. How do you?
I wish we had separate bathrooms, but even if we did not have separate bathrooms, I swear you would still use mine.
Sink?
Just the bathroom. We have separate sinks as it is. One,
they're-
you don't see beard trimmings.
Connected.
You don't see beard because I clean up after myself. However, your sink is never used. It just holds your freaking straightener or whatever.
Yeah, curling on, whatever else is used.
Meanwhile, there's tons of makeup covered in my sink that's not cleaned up. So I would, that would be a game changer. Because I even tell you, I'm like, bro, why is there all this makeup?
Why are you using my sink?
Yeah, why do you use my sink? Like you have a whole sink, and that's just a sink. So like,
I would agree with that.
Yes.
We could afford a separate bathrooms. We should do it.
a whole bathroom.
All right. The next listener said that his wife loves chick flicks and he loves action movies. So instead of forcing each other to watch, they have solo movie nights where they each pick what they want and enjoy peace.
I feel
Absolutely.
like that's anyways.
Yeah. You have to do that. I feel like that's like a natural thing that people in relationships probably do.
I watch my own movies. You watch your own movies.
Yeah. Multiple TVs in the house.
Like,
Game changer.
Right.
Yeah. You have to have multiple TVs in your house.
I
Don't.
mean, there's movies I want you to watch with me, and you're like, no. There's still one.
Yeah.
Or the rings that you still.
That I started, and I was like, no. But there's things that we
I
watch.
don't watch your shows.
Yeah, and we watch together.
What shows do you watch that are mine? Like specifically, not an our show.
It Ends With Us. That was a your show. You're like, watch this
with us.
Is that what it's called? Oh no. Shoot, that's that stupid Blake Lively movie. The Last of Us. Is that what it's called?
The Last of Us.
Yeah, that one you made me watch.
There was only one season. I didn't make you watch.
Yes, you were like, it's a game one. Let's watch it. And I was like, okay.
You liked
it. I started watching it. I liked it.
Yeah.
Reacher. You make me watch Reacher, and I watched.
No, that's you. You're again.
Okay, here's some more. Ready? Dex.
I could agree with that.
Nip Tuck.
But those are old.
Those are old, but real good. I would watch Nip Tuck again. I have kind of forgot about what that is. But
like Reacher, you're the one who's like, we need to watch Reacher. We need to watch it.
Well, because I didn't know a new season came out. So you suggested it. We watched it. Okay, the next one that they said was they don't text all day, but because some couples stay constantly connected, they like to do their own thing, and that way they actually have something to talk about at dinner. I feel like if we didn't text all day, we'd never talk because of our work schedules right now. So we have to communicate via text.
So there's one thing I do not like talking about that I feel like you like to talk about.
What?
All the time.
What?
Work. I feel like a lot of our conversation revolves around your work or my work instead of just regular conversation. We talk work.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times.
I do not like that. I don't want to talk about work when I'm not at work.
I can hear that.
No, you love work.
I do. I enjoy work.
And you talk to me about work all the time, and I will
listen.
I will listen. I will provide my feedback. I do not enjoy talking about. I'm like, can we talk about something else that's not work, really? Because sometimes it does get annoying. I'm like, bro, all you're talking about is your work.
Well, there's a lot of shit that happens, you know. All right, you want to take the next three?
Where are we?
We are at
yeah. So I see now. So I keep my own bank account for fun money. No fights over purchases. No guilt. Just my own spending freedom. I don't know if this is male or female. It doesn't matter. We do this.
Yes, and you should do it.
Yeah, 100% would agree that is a great idea, and it works really good for us.
It especially works if you have a spouse like me who loves to spend money.
Like she said, she loves to shop.
I love to shop. I will fully admit I'm bougie. I love nice things. I will buy nice things.
Not only that though, but it helped you realize
how much
you actually spend.
Yeah.
I spend a lot. I am the problem.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Yeah. So it makes you more conscious of like, I shop a lot.
Yeah, I am very guilty of this, but we do agree on this.
So yeah,
it's a good move.
Yeah, so I would agree. It's a benefit for more than just freedom. It's financial responsibility. I feel like
we've paid off like I feel like almost $50,000 worth of debt at least using this model.
Yeah, I think we're bill free.
We are,
other than
houses and stuff. Yeah. And a car that we just recently purchased, but we
were able to figure out, hey, we can actually buy another car.
Well, and we paid off another car 3 years early.
Yeah. Yeah, that car was, it wasn't supposed to be paid off till 2027. We paid it off this year.
Yep.
And then bought another car.
Yep.
To double the freaking car payment of the one we just paid off. But
much needed though. Yeah. It was the best purchase we paid.
The fun account I can completely agree with, and it works.
Yes, I would agree.
What's the next one? We sleep in separate beds once a week. Just enjoy stretching out and getting good night's sleep. No snoring. No blanket wars.
Why don't they just buy a king-size bed?
We have a king-size bed, and you are still my little backpack.
I am. I don't agree with this at all. Like I am. Even if you come home and you're not in bed, I'm like constantly nagging you, being like, "When are you coming to bed? I can't go to sleep." I'm
reading this again. Sleep in separate beds once a week.
No way. No way. No, I'm definitely. I would not be able to function.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. But if that works, then
also like no snoring or blanket wars. Like depending on, I feel like after a certain amount of time, like you just don't. You tune things out. Like you snore, and I sleep right through it now.
You snore, and I sleep. No, sometimes it bothers me. I'll wake you up, and I'm like, yo, roll over or something. But you were snoring.
Or even like you sleep with the TV on, and it used to bother me, and sometimes it still does. But like I can go to sleep with it on now and be fine. You know? Okay. This next one says, my husband and I each have one night a week where we're off duty, no responsibilities, no expectations, just pure me time. What does that? Well, do they have kids? Let's go with they have kids.
Let's do both.
Okay, they have no kids. Great. I love this idea.
Okay.
They have kids.
You see, I'm just quiet. I'm letting you do all the talking.
Okay, they have kids. Like, unless you're the wife leaving the house, like, how does this work? Because I'm not like locking myself in a bedroom, you know? What does
It doesn't
look like?
Doesn't say that. It just says one night a week, you're off duty, no responsibilities, no expectations.
So, like, we could still be hanging out, doing our own thing, eating dinner, but like, I don't have to clean up the kitchen or cook. Not that I cook anyway.
You could hang out on the couch and scroll your TikToks for hours on end.
Oh, that's an interesting
And
one.
if one of the girls is like, hey, my nose is bleeding, you just say, snap, snap, James, her nose is bleeding. What are you going to do?
That's an interesting.
Is that how you're. This is how I'm interpreting.
We should try this.
Just pure me time. Like, I am sitting here scrolling. This child is whining. Hey, guess what? Other parent, come on over here.
Let's try this. This is an interesting one.
Okay, so now I can give my thoughts.
Okay, go ahead.
Quiet.
I would love to know because I'm like,
I would love it. Once a week. It's not, I feel like once a week is not anything crazy.
But what does that look like with our schedule? Because like 4 days out of the week, you're not here. So does that still mean that like could it be like a Monday? Because
so your once a week would be a Saturday or a Sunday. My once a week would be.
Does that mean I don't have to wake up with them kids at 7 in the morning or 8 in the morning? Is that how that works?
It's just one night, not a.
Like, when does the day start? See, now we're getting real complicated.
We're talking one night. I'm taking it as like.
Okay, here's the
dinner.
Let's do this example. Are you ready? I think we can make this work. One night a week. So like on Monday nights, I have no responsibility because you don't work. You're home. Unless it's like busy kid time season where we're taking kids to 5 million different sporting events. But I would have no responsibility. Like right now, I feel like we could manage that. Yours would have to be like
it would be a Saturday
or a Sunday because of the way that our schedule currently works.
Yeah. I mean, I would. Yeah.
Let's try it. That's a good suggestion.
If I could just cash in my coupon to be like, look, today's not my day.
Okay, but here's the thing.
You could do the same.
You can't cash in a coupon. My type A personality is going to be like, I need to know what day of the week it is every week.
Well, it's going to be Saturday or Sunday.
And so like, I need to know that it's always Monday for me, so I can mentally be prepared that it is always a Monday.
Yeah, no responsibilities, no expectations, just me time. That means me, I could literally lock myself in the room.
Yeah, you could and never come out.
Well, I mean, so could you. You just go upstairs and be like, I'm going to
do what?
Watch TV.
Thought about that. I should do that.
I mean, I could still go in because I'm
going to change the password.
You don't know the password to change it.
That's the type of lock I'm going to put on this office door so I can come in here and do what I want, Put a little couch in here I can and TV, we're going to mount a TV in here. This is going to be my
Just
space.
For the people who's listening, my me time room, my man cave, if you will, it's a fingerprint lock that's only opening with my fingerprint.
Yeah.
So I can lock myself in and no one's coming in my room.
I also just want to speak to the privilege that you have right now. There are probably very few men out there that have a man cave with a fingerprint lock door that lock everybody out.
But most of the time I keep the door open. I have an open door policy up there.
Yeah, you do. Or we knock really hard like we're the police.
I have an open door policy.
Not very often that you have it locked. But that is can you buy me one of them for my office doors?
Yeah.
And then make this my sanctuary and lock it.
You'd need two.
And you know what? And this office space has glass pane windows. And so I'm just going to put the film on there so people can't look in. You won't be knowing what I'm doing in here.
We have our last question here is we have different wake up times. I'm a morning person. He's a night owl. And we respect that instead of forcing each other into the same routine.
Nah, this is hard for this is a hard no.
I have this discussion all the time on my days off.
I enjoy us having the same night and bedtime routine, although we very infrequently have had that throughout the course of our relationship.
So us personally, I work until 2 in the morning. So on my days off, I like to stay up until anytime between 12 to 2.
can't stay up past 11 o'clock if my life depended on it.
Midnight till 2, but she wants me to go to bed with her at like 9.
I don't think I've asked you to go to bed at 9, but I'll usually wake up. If I go to bed at 9, let's hypothetically
No,
say
you will send messages.
I will.
All night. Are you coming to bed? When are you coming to bed? Are you coming to bed soon?
But here's the thing is I'll go to bed at 9 and I'll send a message when I first wake up. So usually it'll be somewhere around 12 o'clock. I wake up and I'm like, are you coming to bed yet? Are you coming to bed? And then whenever the next time is that I wake up, I say it again. So I've been waking up a lot.
So, I mean, I could relate to this about being the night owl, and she is not. I wouldn't say you're a morning person, but you're not a night owl.
I'm not a night owl for sure. Well,
yeah, put some respect on me staying up.
Well, on that note, you and I should try the one night a week where we have off duty. Maybe we can try it tomorrow. And
tomorrow being Monday, which will automatically be your day. That's crazy.
Yeah, let's speak that into existence. And continue to foster our own independence while balancing nurturing our relationship.
And I guess for our listeners, so we can do a little closing statement on do one thing this week just for yourself, and not as a spouse and not as a parent, but just for you. One thing would be a goal.
And for the spouses listening, don't do what my husband did and invite himself to Costco on a Saturday with all your kids. Respect the boundaries of independence.
It was a family outing.
Remember, happy individuals make a happier marriage.
Yeah. Happy spouse, happy house.
Or happy wife makes a happy
individual.
Happy individual makes a happier marriage. Well, we will catch you guys next time. And thanks for listening. Make sure to follow us on social media at Wet and Wild Podcast, Instagram, and TikTok.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.